We're going to look at sets. It's one of the built-in data types in Python. And I have also opened the documentary for set. It's the best source to learn Python, in my opinion. So what does it say? The first sentence. A set object is an unordered collection of distinct hashable objects. So this is an unordered collection. What does it mean? Is that it does not record element position or order of insertion. So you can add elements to set, but it won't be there in the order of your insertion. Like other collections, they support X and set, checking length set, or it can also supports a loop over its elements. And actually the first sentence is very important. A set object is an unordered collection of distinct hashable objects. So we explained what does unordered mean, and distinct means that it cannot contain duplicate elements, and the elements should be hashable. So let's go back to the meaning of hashable. Hashable means that an object is the object has a hash value that does not change over its lifetime. For example, we can start the example with creating a set. Let's create a set. We can create a set like this. And we can add an element to set like this. 1, add 2, add 3, and add 4. And if we print the set, we will see that it does not record the order of insertion. And I can delete this. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. So in this case, it actually gave us the elements in order, but it's not something that happens all the time, because we will see that, for example, if we add 45, then we add 37, and then we add, say, 98, and if we do it again, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 37, 98, and 45. So it didn't record the order of insertion. That's one thing of these set types. And when it comes to hashable objects, we can give examples of integers, strings, tuples. Most of the time in Python's, but especially in Python's built-in data structures, hashable objects are immutable. Immutable means that you cannot modify the content of the object without creating a new instance. For example, as you know, strings are immutable, tuples are also immutable, integers are also immutable. Yeah, Python, you can create a customized data set that where it's you can make it hashable, but you can also make it in a way that it will have it is immutable. But Python does not support this kind of thing because it is not, it can behave in a way that is unexpected and unstable. So Python recommends us to not to do it. And we set integers, strings, and tuples. So what it means is that we can only add hashable objects into a set. Integers, strings, and tuples. And one of the things of hashable objects is that hashable means they can also be used as a key in the dictionary. And let's see, we create a string, my string 2, and we add s2, to the set. Yeah, we can do it without any error. But when we try to add an object that is not hashable, we'll get a type error. For example, let's create a list 5, and we add the list to the set, we will get a type error. And yes, I will just delete this. Yeah, coming back here, we will get a type error. Unhashable type list, so we can't add the list to set. So what it means is that we can use the elements in the set as a key in the dictionary. So you can feel guaranteed that whatever is inside the set, it can be used as a key in the dictionary. And one more interesting thing, we talked about that you can create a custom data structures where it is hashable, but it's also mutable. You can do it, but it's not recommended. But also, there is a case where the object itself is hashable, but it contains a data structure that is unhashable. In this case, the object is considered to be unhashable. Therefore, it cannot be added to the set. For example, when we create a tuple, we can get its hash value. Let's comment this. We already know that you cannot do it. A tuple. You can see that. Oh, need its hash value. Yeah. So this is the hash value of this object. But when we actually add an element that is not hashable, the object itself becomes unhashable. So we can create a new tuple that contains an integer and a list. And when we try to add this to, and yeah, firstly we cannot get its hash value because it becomes unhashable, and also we cannot add this to a set. Let's try this. Yeah, unhashable type list. But the type of T4 is actually a tuple. class tuple. Okay, the object itself is hashable, but its content is unhashable. But the fact that it contains an unhashable object, it makes the object itself unhashable. So in these cases, we cannot add these things to set as well. And they cannot also be used as a key in a dictionary. For example, if you create a dictionary, we can use T3 as the key, but not T4. Let's try. Okay, D1. You can write T3. Let's say a lake. We can do this and we will print D1 without any problem. But when we try to do it T4, we will get an error, unhashable type list. Okay, I hope we understand what is hashable, unhashable, mutable, immutable. And going back to the set itself, it's actually the set itself is immutable. As you can see, is mutable because we can modify the content of the set without creating a new instance. But whether is it hashable? Is it hashable? Okay, this is a very good question, and we can look at the set itself. We know that the set only contains unhashable objects. So let's try. We have S1. Only hashable objects that it contains, and we can change its content by adding a new value. As you can see, we didn't create any new instance when we added this string, so it means that set is immutable. It is mutable. I think it's also not hashable. Because it contains a data type that is not hashable. And we can actually check this by printing type hash value of the set. I think it will give us an error. Yeah, unhashable type set. So what we concluded here that what I said before was right. If an object contains an hashable object, it's also unhashable. Well, what if the set only contains hashable objects? I think it won't change. Yeah, because in this case, unhashable type set, it won't change anything, even though it only contains hashable objects. So if an object is capable of having unhashable objects, it's also unhashable. So it was kind of what was about sets. But the thing is, the sets are immutable. We might want to have something that has the features of set but is immutable. Then in that case we can use a frozen set, which is Frozensets Frozensets 1, 2, 3, 4. That we can. Yeah, I think then in that case we can fast, but now we cannot add a value to the frozen set. Yeah. So we cannot remove an element, we cannot add an element because it's immutable. And what I guess is that this immutable object is hashable. Why? Because firstly, it's immutable, and secondly, its elements are hashable. And I think we can get the print hash fs. I'm not sure actually, but by reasoning, I guess it is hashable. Interesting. Got 5. Well, I'm not sure about this error, why we get it. Ah, okay. This frozen set actually expects one iterable argument, like a list tuple or another set. So let's make it a list. Let's see if we can modify this 0. Yeah, frozen set, as I said before, it is hashable. But we can also, it means that we cannot modify its content, right? So we can also use it as a key in the dictionary. Well, yeah, actually says that the frozen set type is immutable and hashable. Its content cannot be altered, so it can be used as a key or as an element of another set. Yeah. So in this case, the frozen set is immutable, and hashable. Yeah, I think it was a kind of deep dive into sets and frozen set. I will not go into the methods of these data structures because it doesn't, I mean, it's just memorizing lens. I think this is the most important part that one needs to understand.